Welcome to the Scaringi Law Lunch Break. This is your time of the day to learn a little bit about the law while you enjoy your lunch. Yesterday afternoon, we did a Scaringi Law News Break, a special edition, to discuss Governor Wolf's press conference from earlier that day concerning the closure of non-essential businesses throughout Pennsylvania. The governor's press conference caused a lot of consternation and confusion among clients of Scaringi Law and business owners and employees across the state. So we put out a short news break yesterday afternoon. I hope you had a chance to watch it. Today we'll have a little more in-depth discussion and analysis of this issue with my overarching opinion, which is this: Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf is wrong. He has no authority to order the closure of private businesses in Pennsylvania. In a virtual news conference on March 16, 2020, Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf announced that, effective at midnight, all non-essential stores are to close in Pennsylvania, as well as bars and restaurants, except for takeout. He anticipates the closure will last for 2 weeks, but did not give a hard deadline. Wolf's statement sent shockwaves across Pennsylvania, causing consternation among business owners and employees alike. Owners are asking if they must close their businesses. Employees want to know if they can stay home. Which businesses are essential? Which are non-essential? These are big questions. But wait a second. Let's back up for a minute. What exactly did the governor say, and does he even have the authority to say it? Wolf said stores are to close. Well, that inartful choice of words means certain businesses, or stores, whatever that means, must close. The words are to close constitute a command, even if couched in passive-aggressive language. But does Wolf have the authority to order the closure of private businesses, whether essential or non-essential? In short, no. The governor cites as his authority the Emergency Management Services Code, that's Title 35 of Pennsylvania's Consolidated Statutes, Section 7101. The Emergency Code is what it's referred to in its abbreviated name. But that law does not apply to the coronavirus or COVID-19. The Emergency Code pertains to disasters. It defines them as man-made, such as industrial accidents and oil spills, natural, such as hurricanes and tornadoes, or war-caused. Disease appears nowhere in the definition. There is a law on preventing the spread of disease, the Disease Prevention and Control Law, that's Title 35 of Pennsylvania Statute Section 521, but that law does not authorize the governor to do what he has done. Further, the code does not confer power upon the governor to close businesses, even if we stretch the definition of disaster beyond its breaking point to include disease. During his news conference, the governor added confusion by declaring that his order is not a mandate and that he will not enforce it. But that's not what he said the day before or even later that day. A statement from his office dated March 15, 2020 reads, quote, using his authority under the state's COVID-19 disaster declaration order, Governor Tom Wolf today ordered all restaurants and bars to close in Allegheny, Bucks, Chester, Delaware, and Montgomery counties for 14 days. Businesses that offer carry-out, delivery, and drive-through food and beverage services may continue to do so, but eating and drinking inside restaurants and bars is temporarily prohibited. That statement grounds the governor's authority in his previous disaster declaration order. Now, that's a reference to his proclamation of disaster emergency of March 6, 2020, which itself cites the emergency code as his authority, bringing us back to square one. Further, the March 15, 2020 statement used the words ordered and prohibited, which are clearly commands. It included the threat: businesses that do not adhere to this order could face enforcement actions. Really? What enforcement actions? The governor does not explain. In truth, The governor has no authority to order the closure of all Pennsylvania businesses, whether essential or non-essential. Not only does the code not apply to disease, the power to close businesses is not even in that law. And Wolf's attempt to base his authority in the code's empowerment of the governor to control the ingress and egress to a disaster area is just silly. Your local restaurant, bar, or barbershop are simply not disaster areas. Now, later in the day, March 16, 2020, in reaction to the mass confusion caused by his two earlier statements, the governor issued an update. He attempted to further define essential and non-essential, even though there is no such definition in the law. The governor is simply making it up. Who knew a pet store is an essential business? To add to the confusion, the updated statement indicates he ordered restaurants and bars to close and prohibited them from operating their dine-in facilities. However, elsewhere he refers to this as a request. Is that clear? To top things off, the governor concluded his update with this ominous declaration, quote, "The Wolf administration is relying on businesses to act now before the governor or the Secretary of Health finds it necessary to compel closures under the law for the interest of public health, including Section 7301 of the Emergency Management Services Code." Wow. The governor has assumed emergency powers he does not have, and then after walking them back a bit, he boldly doubled down and issued a threat to millions of businesses across Pennsylvania. If they don't close voluntarily, he will close them by force. Pennsylvania's governor is either ignorant of the law and its limitations on his power, or is intentionally disregarding it. Our governor must be reminded that we Pennsylvanians are governed by law and not men. Business owners have the right to make their own decisions about closure in the face of the coronavirus, and it's the governor's job to protect and not brazenly override that right. Unauthorized and confused orders and threats to shut down businesses are only adding to the anxiety and fear being experienced by so many Pennsylvanians. Well, that's about all the time we have today for the Scaringi Law Lunch Break. If you have any questions about Governor Wolf's various statements on the closure of the closure of non-essential businesses, on the definition of essential or non-essential, if you're business owners or employees and you have concerns and questions about the governor's various statements, must they be adhered to? Must they be obeyed? What happens if they're not? You're welcome to call Scaringi Law at 717-657-7770. We have employment law and business attorneys who are ready to take your calls and answer your questions. Again, that's about all the time we have today for the Scaringi Law Lunch Break. I want to thank you for listening. I hope you learned a little bit about the law. Enjoy your lunch.